sat on the edge of the bed, rubbing his knees absent-mindedly. The creaking joints had become an unwelcome reminder of the years gone by. Across the room, Linda stood in front of the mirror, adjusting her reading glasses as she pulled her silver-streaked hair into a loose bun. "Did you sleep well?" she asked, noticing the way Mark shifted his weight. "Like a rock," he lied. In truth, his back ached more than usual, and the restless tossing had become a nightly ritual. Linda saw through his answer. After 40 years of marriage, there were no secrets, only unspoken concerns. She sat beside him, taking his hand in hers. "Mark, we need to start taking better care of ourselves. We're not getting any younger, but that doesn't mean we have to feel old." He chuckled. "Are you suggesting I start jogging?" "Not jogging," she said with a smile, "but something. We can't ignore the changes happening to us." Mark and Linda had married young, raising 3 children while juggling careers and responsibilities. He had worked as an engineer, she had been a teacher. For years, their lives had revolved around deadlines, school projects, and weekend soccer games. Then, suddenly, the house was quiet. The kids were grown and gone, busy with families of their own. Retirement loomed on the horizon, and with it came a sense of both freedom and uncertainty. The companionship that once felt effortless now required intention. "We used to walk every evening," Linda reminisced. "Remember, even when the kids were little, we made time." "Yeah," Mark sighed. "Somewhere along the way, I guess we stopped." One morning, Mark felt an unfamiliar tightness in his chest while climbing the stairs. The doctor called it a wake-up call, a warning that without lifestyle changes, he was headed for serious health trouble. Linda took it as a sign, too. She wasn't feeling as strong as she used to. The weight gain, the aching joints, the occasional dizziness. Aging was happening faster than she had expected. "I don't want to watch you struggle," she admitted one evening. "And I don't want to struggle either. We need to take care of each other." For the first time in years, they set a goal, not for their children, not for their jobs, but for themselves. The first challenge was finding something they could enjoy together. Mark wasn't keen on joining a gym, and Linda had little interest in lifting weights. They compromised with something simple, morning walks. At first, it was just a few minutes around the block. Mark grumbled about the cold mornings. Linda complained about her shoes. But soon, they found themselves looking forward to their time together. The quiet streets, the crisp air. It reminded them of their younger days, walking hand in hand before life got in the way. Then came the laughter. Linda downloaded a yoga app, convincing Mark to stretch with her. The sight of his 6-foot frame attempting a downward dog was enough to send them both into fits of giggles. It wasn't about being perfect. It was about being together. Exercise wasn't the only change. Linda started experimenting in the kitchen, swapping out processed foods for fresh ingredients. She found old recipes from their early years, tweaking them to be healthier. Mark, initially resistant, had to admit he felt better. One evening, over a dinner of grilled salmon and roasted vegetable, Mark looked across the table. "I forgot how much I love cooking with you," he said. "That's because you used to just watch me cook," Linda teased. "Fair point." He reached for her hand. "But I like this. I like us, taking care of each other." Despite their efforts, there were still hard days. The occasional doctor's visit brought unwelcome news: arthritis for Linda, cholesterol concerns for Mark. There were nights of frustration, moments of doubt, but through it all, they reminded each other they were in this together. One evening, as they sat on their porch watching the sunset, Mark turned to Linda. "You know, I used to think love was just about the big things, marriage, kids, anniversaries. But I think this is love too." She leaned against him, taking care of each other, even when it's hard. "Especially when it's hard," he agreed, as they walked hand in hand down the familiar neighborhood path. Linda smiled. They weren't trying to turn back the clock. They weren't chasing youth. They were simply choosing to live together fully in the present. Because love, real love, doesn't fade with age. It deepens. It grows stronger with every shared step, every held hand, and every quiet moment of understanding. And that, they both knew, was the greatest health benefit of all. As the weeks passed, their new routine became second nature. The morning walks turned into evening strolls, and the occasional yoga session became a shared joke. Mark still couldn't touch his toes, and Linda had given up trying to correct his posture. But none of that mattered. What mattered was that they were showing up for each other day after day. One Sunday afternoon, their daughter Emily came to visit. She watched as her parents playfully bickered over who walked faster and smiled at the sight of them moving in sync, side by side. "You two seem different," she noted as they sat on the patio sipping iced tea. Linda and Mark exchanged a glance. "We feel different," Mark admitted. "Yeah," Linda added. "We decided that just because we're getting older doesn't mean we have to feel old. We're taking care of ourselves, together." Emily beamed. "That's inspiring. A lot of couples lose their connection over time, but you two seem closer than ever." Mark reached for Linda's hand, giving it a gentle squeeze. "Because we choose to be." And that was the truth of it. Love wasn't just about the past, the shared memories, the milestones, the years behind them. It was about the present, the small moments, the daily choices to stay engaged, to stay active, and to stay connected. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and gold, Mark and Linda took another step forward. Together. Always. Together.